Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back with another High Republic book review. Star Wars The High Republic Convergence by Zoraida Cordova is the first adult novel in Phase 2 of the High Republic, and tells the story of the long-standing conflict between the planets of Iram and Arano. The constant fighting between these planets has gotten so bad that the Republic has sent the Jedi to see what can be done to end this pointless squabble. And that's pretty much the whole book. This is the first High Republic book that, in my opinion, struggles because of its containment. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the book is bad, as I still enjoyed it, but the scope of Phase 1 was massive and introduced us to so many characters and places that at times it was hard to keep up with. Now, at the same time, this could make it a great starting point for some fans, as I've seen the complaint that there was too much going on in Phase 1, so perhaps this is the perfect example of catering to your audience. The list of characters isn't all that big either, which definitely helps when meeting all of these newly created characters. Our main Jedi is Gela Natai, who sports the cover of the book and definitely has some inner conflict. There are several times throughout the book where she is questioned about her upbringing, and she shows very conflicted signs when addressing that she doesn't really have a home, which I found to be very interesting. We also have the Prince of Iram and the Princess of Arano, which are great characters and really help shed light on the conflict between these planets. Neither of them really want to be fighting, it's just what they were raised in, as their parents were the ones at war with each other. We see several moments throughout the book where both the prince and princess are basically like, why are we fighting? This is absolutely pointless. Even when they both have officials in their ears telling them not to trust one another. And finally, the character who carried the whole story, Axel Greylark. Easily one of my new favorite characters. He's absolutely unhinged and annoying. And while he doesn't do much worth rooting for, you still want to be on his side, even though he's only doing some good deeds so his mother, Chancellor Greylark, will unlock his inheritance. But overall, we have a good range of characters from all sides of the D&D alignment chart, so it balances out perfectly. As I mentioned earlier, the main plot revolves around the forever war between Iram and Arano, which, while small in size compared to the events of Phase 1, I felt was very needed. Throughout some of the Phase 1 books, there were many flashback sequences to conflicts on the two planets, and during those books, I didn't really care for the conflict. Convergence put us right at the forefront of the fight and was able to show why we should care about this fight. And I found it to be more interesting than I expected. For starters, the descriptions of the planets is incredible. Arano seems like a wasteland of dirt and steel, while Iram more so has elements of Naboo, and it's truly beautiful. The differences between the two planets is night and day. And the peoples on both planets are so vastly different and have ill-willed hate towards each other for no reason at all. And these are definitely two important planets that needed more time on the page, and Zoraida gave them both justice. So far, I would say Path of Deceit is still my favorite in Phase 2 so far, but these opening books need to set the stage for what is to come in Wave 2, which will be the last wave for Phase 2. Things will definitely ramp up, but we can't get there without these starting stories. I will say, while scarce, the action in Convergence is awesome. The opening dogfight is so immersive, and I really could visualize everything that was happening. Not that my opinion matters too much to writers, but I always feel that if you can write a dogfight and it's cohesive and understandable, then you're a great writer. Because it's very hard to do, and I've read plenty of Star Wars books where dogfights felt clunky and strange. There's also a fantastic arena scene near the end of the book that was probably my favorite. It gave me big Jedi Fallen Order vibes from the part of the game where you get captured by bounty hunters. It was just really well done. Overall, I would give Convergence a 7 out of 10. It may not be as big and bold as some of the books in Phase 1, but it doesn't have to be. It has an important role in the overall story of the High Republic and delivers. Personally, I would have just liked to have seen more of the galaxy at this point, as in the beginning of Phase 2 is a time of peace where there truly isn't a lot of conflict. I think that's incredibly important now because Phase 2 is shorter than Phase 1. However, I'm trusting the process as all of these Project Luminous writers know how the story is supposed to go. But what were your thoughts on Convergence? Did you enjoy it? Was it not for you? And as I mentioned earlier, with some people feeling like there was too much going on in Phase 1, do you think this would be a better entry point for fans wanting to get into the High Republic? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video, and we hope to see you again very soon.